It is skinny.
Yeah. Looks like everything came together just right.
Oh, we got 4 people already. Wow. Like right at the get-go.
So we're going to hit the like button over here. Oops, not the pause button.
Uh-oh. I think I got to get my phone. I think it's on the charger.
So yeah, that's all part of the housekeeping stuff that we do. Housekeeping. Turn this one on. It does help a little bit. I don't know why, but it does. Just helps get the word out there. I see. I have my. No, I guess I got to turn my volume down better, even though I had that on silent.
We go through this every
I know. I don't know why. Okay, so we're all here. Algorithm, yes. Where do we start? Beginning. So the fridge is froze.
No, the fridge is
Unfroze.
we think the compressor went out.
Yeah.
This is a fridge I've had for 17 years.
Something like that, yeah.
And I still think it's my new fridge.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a good size fridge. Mm-hmm. And the idea of having to take it out of this house the same way it went in
is scary.
So the doors are all really narrow. Mm-hmm. And this is it's a normal size fridge, but it's just a
side by side
bigger one. Mm-hmm. And it would need to go out the front, down the stairs. I don't even trust those stairs going down them myself.
When we brought it in, thankfully, we were getting a coffee delivery at the time.
So somebody was driving up the road, mm-hmm. saw that we were
stuck.
And I ended up having mm-hmm. bruises on my arms because we had it on this hand truck. We were pulling it. Oh, man, mm-hmm. It was something. I'm thankful. Yeah, it was. So people have been saying, oh, just replace it. Just replace. Mm-hmm. Like, no, I'd rather buy the compressor and have somebody come in and replace it. Mm-hmm. The compressor's cheaper. Yeah, the labor might be a little bit, but I don't know.
We're still working our way through it. So we have one of the cabin fridges. We've always had a cabin fridge in the living room.
And when we say cabin fridge, it's just a fridge like a dorm size fridge mm-hmm. that has a little freezer on it.
That we used to have in one of the cabins.
Yes. But people might not know what that is.
So we have that in the living room. We brought in another smaller fridge from the cabins into the kitchen.
So we have that in there. And then
we have a normal fridge.
We have a fridge out back that we used to put like day old produce in mm-hmm. from the food pantry. And we would feed that to the chickens or whatever. Mm-hmm. Let's just say it was a very disgusting fridge. So we rolled that up to the house. I just took a hose and bleach and just mm-hmm. cleaned it out and let it dry off. And it is holding the rest of our food right now. Very cold, very coldly. Mm-hmm.
So everything's working like that.
Yes, we have to be very thankful for that.
Last week we talked about the illness with Claude and Jericho.
Oh yeah, we came in late because of that.
But they are doing fine. I think Jericho is still a little iffy. He's sluggish, let's just say. So,
but Monday we were actually going to call him on Monday.
We were all set to harvest.
We had everything set up. The hanger, the knives were sharpened. The buckets were out, like everything.
Mm-hmm. And we went to check him one last time
we went to check, and he's like standing up,
mm-hmm.
like, hey, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Eating. It's like, okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Father.
Mm-hmm.
It was not his time.
Nope.
No,
it was the fridge's time.
It was the fridge. Because the fridge went out on the same day, and I was actually having a day. And it was like, I was worried about having to harvest him, and then I was dealing with the fridge being out, and I'm like, Lord, this is a lot.
But thankfully she was off that day. So
I was off that day. I did ask for the day off.
So they're doing well. We have them up here closer to the house. I'm going to start moving them again. It's been a week, so I need to start moving them again.
Yes, but we did figure out what it was. They got into a little plant. It's called mountain laurel, and it is toxic to sheep. It gets in their belly, and it causes bloat. And when they get bloat, basically it takes up all the room in their insides and squeezes out all the air in their lungs.
Yes.
So eventually they just suffocate.
And we believe that is definitely what happened to Grayson
last year, because he was in that same area, same symptoms,
same everything.
Yeah, but once we figured it out, I mean, I looked at it, I'm like, that's poisonous, and we were able to drench him with baking soda and activated charcoal, and we were able to squeeze that into his mouth, into both of their mouths, and I think that made all the difference. Yeah. I think that's what saved them. So we got to dig up those plants. Yeah. Luckily, there's not many. There's just a couple.
Right. Okay. In the high tunnel, we have what?
Lots going on.
Basically all the peppers are in now. So we have a 3x32 foot bed full of yellow wax peppers and pepperoncinis. Probably 30, 16. Let's just call it 100 plants.
It's a lot.
So they're doing well. And we were able to, yeah, it's a lot. But we were able to give away more salad greens before I finished putting the peppers in. So total, we probably gave away, I'd say, right around 75-ounce bags of salad greens. So that was a blessing for us to do. And we gave away our first head of cabbage that same day to the same people, which was awesome. We harvested 2 for ourselves to roast and keep, and then we roasted 1 that we were going to sell, but we ended up bringing it home because they weren't ready for it. So we harvested a second one, and then we made, if you saw my post today,
I'll go grab it.
We made, what did we make?
Kraut.
We made sauerkraut.
Ouch.
So we harvested that, chopped it up. I'm sure y'all know how to make sauerkraut. I learned how to make sauerkraut, but so we made sauerkraut yesterday. It was just me and Amy hanging out, kind of chilling. So that's what we did.
There's 1 jar of it. That's a quart jar. And then this is like a half gallon. And there's a little weight in there. A lot of juice going on. So these are going to sit on the counter for, I don't know, 10 to 14 days until it gets the right
texture.
No, the right
texture. Ferment. Yes.
Bite. That's the word.
Texture. Yeah. So that was fun. That is something we are actually looking to have as an offering through the Homestead Ministry. So that we're excited about that.
One thing we really want to come up with is, we don't know how this kind of is going to work yet, but
she's jumping ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
I thought it led right into it.
Go ahead. Perfect. Go ahead.
Like a food box, like every week of whatever we have available, from the high tunnel or whatever I've been cooking up in the kitchen.
But staples like milk, sourdough bread, microgreens. Well, that's not really a staple for most people, but around here, microgreens, eggs, and again, anything what's coming out of the high tunnel.
Herbs.
Maybe some herbs.
Is that what all was in that box? I did make one this week.
Yeah. And
I got to find my picture of it.
And it's like, we also went to the market again, and like all the items were like $5, $5, $5.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is neat because we got a thing of carrots for $5. But anyway,
it's hard to see this one, but those were all the offerings that we had. It was cabbage, milk, eggs, sourdough buns, microgreens, and herbs. So,
and if somebody wants to put chicken in, we could put chicken in, because with the harvest we'll probably start parting out more chicken. That way we could do chicken parts, because I'm finding more people are wanting parts than they are whole. So we'll probably go that way. So yeah, that's something we're looking to do to help support the ministry, is farm boxes. And on that same note, I guess is a good way to say it, is we found another out for our microgreens, or another in for our microgreens. One of the local restaurants, they're interested in microgreens and other things from us.
Yeah, we got to get together with them this week and figure out what they want when. But yeah, so we're very, very excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm gonna have to change up my plans probably for my fall planting, but that's all right.
If it's sold.
Yeah, if it's yeah. So that's awesome. I returned the trailer this week from the animal delivery, and everything went great with that. And in the process, we were asked about shipping microgreens. It was an interesting conversation offer, but it just doesn't
cost. I mean, they're already kind of pricey for what they are. I think, but then if you add in, it's probably going to double the cost to mail it, because they need to be refrigerated.
For $20 worth of microgreens, you're going to spend $20 in shipping, between the box and the freezer packs and shipping it itself. Farm to table idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically. Oh yeah. Basically, it's like here's your box for the week, and you got milk, eggs, chicken, bread.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can look down at your plate and see everything that's
where it came
on
from.
there. Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited about trying to do that. Y'all know that one of the new ewes had her baby. She had a single ram.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a big boy because he's a single ram, and he's out there just hanging out with the
aunties, we call
the aunties. Yes.
So we got this one little guy, and all the others.
He's a nudge. He'll just bounce around and yeah, he's funny though. Makes me laugh.
And we're just kind of wondering where all the other babies are. It's like, come on, you ready? I keep looking out in the middle of the night. It's like,
yep.
Is it time?
And if they wait until, after next Sunday, and we're having babies in the middle of the night, that means we're going to be calling down to my sister's cabin saying, hey, we're having babies, so they can come up in the middle of the night.
Yes, we think they are waiting for you to arrive.
Yep. Let's see, what else did we do? We did that. And today we just kind of putzed around outside and did a lot of cleanup, I had to do some push mowing from the rest of the chicken lane to get to the harvest station. I got to start working on the harvest station before the next chicken harvest. So that's prepared.
Lots of odds and ends done today. Felt really good about that.
Yeah. And all of our other starts are going good except for the peppers for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but I may have to put some more in.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's about everything. Yeah. What's that? We'll
run up to that. It's an experience, and yes, it would be awesome if it happened that way.
Yes, it would.
Yes, it's tough at night, but it's just amazing.
So that's enough for the Homestead Ministry update. Now we're going to get into Scripture, and I do pray over it, over what we're going to be reading, to get into the next book of the Bible, which we're doing. And this is going to be a journey, I think, because we're going to go backwards a little bit from where we were, and we're going to go to Joshua. And if I'm not mistaken, Joshua is the first book after the Torah books, after the first 5. So we're going to pick up from there and continue through and see where we go. And for those of you who are new with us, we do read from the NIV version, just because it's an easier read, unless we're talking about names, and then we just
none of it's easy.
Well, yeah, and we did finish up. What was the last one? Where did we finish up? We finished up with Jeremiah. So that's why we're going backwards. Okay, so the way we do it, we go back and forth as we're reading. Amy starts us off, and if there's a natural break, I will take over. If there's not a natural break and she gets tired of reading, she'll nudge me, and I'll start reading, and we just kind of go back and forth like that. Before we get into this, I just got to say something. And this isn't normally what we do. We usually just get right into the word. But I've been stuck in Kings. And Amy and I talked about it a little bit yesterday as we were enjoying the Sabbath. And it's 1 Kings chapter 13. And there's a man of God. And he was given specific instructions not to eat the bread or drink the water and to go back a different way after he delivered his message to the king. And the king said, well, come have bread, have some water, spend some time. And the man of God said, no, I cannot eat bread. I cannot drink water. The word of the Lord told me so. But he never said what would happen to him if he didn't follow the word. Anyways, the man of God left. He went out a different way because that's what he was commanded to do. And there was a prophet. And the prophet said to his sons, which way did he go? And saddle up my donkey, and I want to go find him. The prophet found him. And as the prophet was talking to him, he said, come back to my house, and we'll have some bread, and we'll have some water, and, And the man of God said, no, I cannot. Because the word of the Lord told me not to eat bread, not to drink water, not to go back the way I came. Great. The man of God was doing what he was told. But then the prophet lied and said, an angel came to me and told me to tell you that you should come back and have some bread and water and, do this. So the man of God listened to this prophet, went back and had bread and water. And then the word of the Lord came to him and said, dude, I told you not to do that. So now your body is not going to, rest with your fathers. So what happened is the man of God finished the meal and left. And a lion came, killed him. Left his body there, didn't touch the donkey, didn't really tear the man of God apart, just left him. Then, of course, he was found and this and that. But to make a long story longer, when the word of the Lord tells you something, follow it. Others will distract you from what you're told. It could be somebody who's not a Christian. It could be somebody who is a Christian. It could be somebody meaning well. It could be someone meaning ill and harm, like the prophet did to the man of God. But when you have a word from the Lord, you need Stay on that word and do what you're told. That's my soapbox for today. So normally we don't do that, but I had to share that. I couldn't hold.
We talked about that at quite length.
Mm-hmm.
At length yesterday. Sorry, we were talking about words not coming out right either.
And it's the discernment.
Yes.
Discernment is so important. When somebody's telling you something that is against. That's what I was saying.
Yes. Wow. Yep.
Yep. Discernment is so crucial, because, we make sure that we discern the message from the Lord to us. Not that we're looking for, a sheepskin soaked or dry as confirmation, but we do look and see, okay, this happened. We put the pieces together that the Lord lays out for us. And I think that is very important to do. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so we were in Joshua. And I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about reading the word with y'all. And I know based on how I feel like I'm being led, I think we're going to go from Joshua and just kind of keep on going. So if we don't, we don't. But right now we're in Joshua for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And Amy's going to get us started.
All right. Joshua 1. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all the people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give them, to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, to the great sea on the west. No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people into... I got this underlined, and it's...
To inherit the land.
I had wiggly lines. To inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn it from to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. He said that 3 times. Mm-hmm. 3 times in that one little spot. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So Joshua ordered the officers of the people, go through the camp and tell the people, get your supplies ready. 3 days from now, you will cross the Jordan here and go in and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you for your own. But to the Reubenites, the Gadites, the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joshua said, remember the command that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you. The Lord your God is giving you rest and has granted you this land. Your wives, your children, and your livestock may stay in the land that Moses gave you east of the Jordan. But all your fighting men, fully armed, must cross over ahead of your brothers. You are to help your brothers until the Lord gives them rest, and as he has done for you, and until they too have taken possession of the land that the Lord your God is giving them. After that, you may go back and occupy your own land, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you east of the Jordan towards the sunrise. Then they answered Joshua, whatever you have commanded us, we will do, and wherever you send us, we will go. Just as we fully obeyed Moses, so we will obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever rebels against your word and does not obey your words, whatever you may command them, will be put to death. Only be strong and courageous.
Mm-hmm. Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house as of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, "Look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land." So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab: "Bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land." But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said, "Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from." At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, the men left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them. But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under the stalks of the flax she had laid out on the roof. So the men set out in pursuit of the spies on the road that leads to the fords of the Jordan. And as soon as the pursuers had gone out, the gate was shut. Before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof and said to them, "I know that the Lord has given this land to you, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard now the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on earth below. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who have belonged to them, and that you will save us from death. Our lives for your lives." The men assured her, "If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land." So she let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of a city wall. Now she had said to them, "Go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourselves there 3 days until they return, and then go on your way." The men said to her, "This oath you made us swear will not be binding on us unless when we enter the land you have tied the scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you have brought your father and mother, your brothers, and all your family into your house. If anyone goes outside your house into the streets, his blood will be on his own head. We will not be responsible. As for anyone who is in the house with you, his blood will be on your head if a hand is laid on him. But if you tell what we are doing, we will be released from the oath you made us swear." "Agreed," she replied. "Let it be as you say." So she sent them away, and they departed, and she tied the scarlet cord in the window. When they left, they went into the hills and stayed there for 3 days, until the pursuers had searched all along the road and returned without finding them. Then the 2 men started back. They went down out of the hills, forded the river, and came to Joshua, son of Nun, and told him everything that happened to them. They said to Joshua, "The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. All the people are melting in fear because of us."
Early in the morning, Joshua and all the Chapter 3. Early in the morning, Joshua and all the Israelites set out from Shittim and went to the Jordan, where they camped before crossing the river. After 3 days, the officers went throughout the camp, giving orders to the people. "When you see the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests who are Levites carrying it, you are to move out from your positions and follow it. Then you will know which way to go, since you have never been this way before. But keep a distance about 1,000 yards between you and the ark. Do not go near it." Joshua told the people, "Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you." Joshua said to the priests, "Take up the Ark of the Covenant and pass it ahead of the people." So they took it up and went ahead of them. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Today I will begin to exalt you in the eyes of all Israel, so that they may know I am with you and I was with Moses. Tell the priests who carry the Ark of the Covenant, when you reach the edge of the Jordan's waters, go and stand in the river." Joshua said to the Israelites, "Come here and listen to the words of the Lord your God. This is how you will know that the living God is among you, and you will certainly drive out before you the Canaanites, Hittites, Hivites, Perizzites, Girgashites, Amorites, and Jebusites. See, the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord of all the earth will go into the Jordan ahead of you. Now then, choose 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one for each tribe, and as soon as the priests who carry the Ark of the Lord of all the earth, set foot on the Jordan, its waters flowing downstream will be cut off and stand up in a heap." So when the people broke camp to cross the Jordan, the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant went ahead of them. Now the Jordan is at flood stage all during harvest. Yet as soon as the priests who carried the Ark reached the Jordan and their feet touched the water's edge, the water upstream stopped flowing. It piled up in a heap a great distance away at a town called Adam in the vicinity of Zarethan, where the water flowing down to the Sea of Arabah, the Salt Sea, was completely cut off. So the people crossed over opposite Jericho. The priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan, while all Israel passed by until the whole nation had completed the crossing on dry ground.
Chapter 4. When the whole nation had finished crossing the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Choose 12 men from among the people." Sorry, I got stuck. "One from each tribe, and tell them to take up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, from right where the priest stood, and to carry them over with you, and put them down at the place where you stay tonight." So Joshua called together the 12 men he appointed from the Israelites, one from each tribe, and said to them, "Go over before the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan. Each of you is to take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of Israel, of the Israelites, to serve as a sign among you. In the future, when your children ask you, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. When it crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. These stones are to be a memorial to the people of Israel forever." So the Israelites did as Joshua commanded them. They took 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, as the Lord had told Joshua. And they carried them over with them to their camp, where they put them down. Joshua set up the 12 stones that had been in the middle of the Jordan at a spot where the priests also carried the Ark of the Covenant had stood. And they are there to this day. Now the priests who carried the ark remained standing in the middle of the Jordan until everything the Lord had commanded Joshua was done by the people, just as Moses had directed Joshua. The people hurried over, and as soon as all of them had crossed, the ark of the Lord and the priests came to the other side while the people watched. The men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh crossed over, armed in front of the Israelites, as Moses had directed them. About 40,000 armed for battle crossed over before the Lord to the plains of Jericho for war. That day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they revered him all the days of his life, just as they had revered Moses. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Command the priests carrying the ark of the testimony to come up out of the Jordan." So Joshua commanded the priests, "Come up out of the Jordan." And the priests came up out of the river, carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord. No sooner had they set their feet on the dry ground than the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and ran at flood stage as before. On the 10th day of the first month, the people went up from the Jordan and camped at Gilgal, on the eastern border of Jericho. And Joshua set up at Gilgal the 12 stones they had taken out of the Jordan. He said to the Israelites, "In the future, when your descendants ask their fathers, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them, 'Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you had crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan just what he had done to the Red Sea, when he dried it up before us until we had crossed over. He did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God."
Now when all the Amorite kings west of the Jordan and all the Canaanite kings along the coast heard how the Lord dried up the Jordan before the Israelites until we had crossed over, their hearts melted, and they no longer had the courage to face the Israelites. At that time the Lord said to Joshua, "Make flint knives and circumcise the Israelites again." So Joshua made flint knives and circumcised the Israelites at Gibeath Haraloth. Now this is why he did so. All of those who came out of Egypt, all the men of military age, died in the desert on the way after leaving Egypt. All the people that came out had been circumcised, but all the people born in the desert during the journey from Egypt had not. The Israelites had moved about in the desert 40 years, until all the men who were of military age when they left Egypt had died, since they had not obeyed the Lord. For the Lord had sworn to them they would not see the land that he had solemnly promised their fathers to give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. So he raised up their sons in their place, and these were the ones Joshua circumcised. They were still uncircumcised because they had not been circumcised on the way. And after the whole nation had been circumcised, they remained where they were in camp until they were healed. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Today I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from you. So the place has been called Gilgal to this day." On the evening of the 14th day of the month, while camped at Gilgal on the plains of Jericho, the Israelites celebrated the Passover. The day after the Passover, that very day, they ate some of the produce of the land, unleavened bread and roasted grain. The manna stopped the day after they ate this food from the land. There was no longer any manna for the Israelites, but that year they ate the produce of Canaan.
Go ahead and finish.
Okay. Now when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him with a drawn sword. He asked, "Are you here for us or for our enemies?" "Neither," he replied, "but as commander of the army of the Lord, I now come." Then Joshua fell face down on the ground in reverence and asked him, "What message does my Lord have for his servant?" The commander of the Lord's army replied, "Take off your sandals, for the place you are standing is holy ground." And Joshua did so.
Now Jericho was tightly shut up because of the Israelites. No one went out and no one came in. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "See, I have delivered Jericho into your hands, along with its kings and its fighting men. March around the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days. Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram's horns in front of the ark. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times, with the priests blowing the trumpets. When you hear them sound a long blast on the trumpets, have all the people give a loud shout. Then the wall of the city will collapse, and all the people will go up, every man straight in." So Joshua, son of Nun, called the priests and said to them, "Take up the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and have 7 priests carry trumpets in front of it." And he ordered the people, "Advance, march around the city with the armed guard going ahead of the ark of the Lord." When Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets before the Lord went forward, blowing the trumpets, and the ark of the Lord's covenant followed them. The armed guard marched ahead of the priests, who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard followed the ark. At this time, the trumpets were sounding, but Joshua had commanded the people, "Do not give a war cry, do not raise your voices, do not say a word until the day I tell you to shout. Then shout." So he had the ark of the Lord carried around the city, circling it once. Then the people returned to camp and spent the night there. Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. The 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went forward, marching before the ark of the Lord and blowing the trumpets. The armed men went ahead of them, and the rear guard followed the ark of the Lord, while the trumpets kept sounding. So on the 2nd day, they marched around the city once and returned to camp. They did this for 6 days. On the 7th day, they got up at daybreak and marched around the city 7 times in the same manner, except that on that day they circled the city 7 times. The 7th time around, when the priest sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the people, "Shout, for the Lord has given you this city. The city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord. Only Rahab the prostitute and all who are with her and her house will be spared, because she hid the spies we sent. But keep away from the devoted things, so that you will not bring about your own destruction by taking any of them. Otherwise, you will make the camp of Israel liable to destruction and bring trouble on it. All the silver and gold and the articles of bronze and iron are sacred to the Lord and must go into his treasury." When the trumpet sounded, the people shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, when the people gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. So every man charged straight in, and they took the city. They devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep, and donkeys. Joshua said to the 2 men who had spied out the land, "Go into the prostitute's house and bring her out and all who belong to her, in accordance with your oath to her." So the young men who had done the spying went in and brought out Rahab, her father and mother and brothers, and all who belonged to her. They brought out her entire family and put them in a place outside the camp of Israel. Then they burned the whole city and everything in it. But they put the silver and gold and the articles of bronze and iron into the treasury of the Lord's house. But Joshua spared Rahab, the prostitute, with her family and all who belonged to her, because she hid the men Joshua had sent as spies to Jericho, and she lives among the Israelites to this day. At that time Joshua pronounced his solemn oath, "Cursed before the Lord is the man who undertakes to rebuild the city Jericho. At the cost of his firstborn son will he lay its foundations. At the cost of his youngest will he set up its gates." So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout the land. Yes. We were talking about
Veggie Tales.
I knew it. Oh, did I forget to say chapter 6? I'm sorry, I forgot to say chapter 6. And thank you for calling me out on it. Wait. Oh. And yes, it does help to have somebody, Bethany's comment earlier, it does help to have somebody to discern with, and have conversations with, someone that you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Because no, you do not want to be deceived, and it's easy to be deceived. So, but anyways, next week we'll be here. We'll have a house full probably next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you're in the area, and if you're in the area, you know, we do this every week. We are now doing it at 7:30. And it's a scripture read. Sometimes we talk a little bit more about it. Sometimes we don't. But then afterwards, if we want to talk about it, you know, that's what we do. So it's not exactly a house church yet, but it's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's going to lead to other things and other conversations. So we're not going to get into that. But if you have any prayer requests and would like us to pray for you, know that we do. And we thank you for your prayers also. But if you have something specific you would like us to pray for, you could leave it in the comments. You could send us an email. You could text Amy. You could call Amy. You could call the house. All that information is in the comment section below. I don't know if we actually updated last week's after the crash. But it's there now. Yeah, didn't we have a crash last week?
No, I just remember coming in soaking wet from the rain. Taking care of
maybe we did just do it. Yep.
I don't know. It made.
Yeah.
The info should be in this
anyways,
one. Not last week's.
The info's there. Again, a big thank you to our friend Lauren. Lauren is our friend who takes our wool and does great things with it. Big shout out to her. If her contact information is below. Also, if you're interested in wool items from our wool, reach out to her directly. We are not a go-between, although we can. We'd like to talk to Lauren. What else is there?
Annie has something to say.
Annie always has something to say. But yeah, I think it's getting a little late. It's about 20 after 8 now. So we're going to have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken legs.
Yep.
Anything else?
Legs and thighs. Nope.
All right, y'all. Yeah. Just keep us in your prayers.
Yep. Have a good evening, and we will see you
next
week.
Yep.
Bye.
Take care, y'all.